I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a yoga class to challenge your balance. So this class is going to be taught more at an intermediate level. I'll still be offering modifications, so there'll be options to modify, but overall it is more at that intermediate kind of level. If you like practicing with me and are looking for longer yoga classes, please check out my Patreon. I'll link it in the description down below. And with all that said, we'll get started. We're gonna start you could start in easy pose or kneeling, your choice. So go ahead and get into your comfortable position and we will start our yoga class to challenge our balance. Okay, so either kneeling, sitting in easy pose, your choice, whatever you choose. Just sit up nice and tall with the spine nice and straight. Close your eyes, hands on your belly, and we're just going to tune into the breath here just to arrive in the present moment, prepare for practice. So nice deep inhale into your hands, and exhale, belly falls back in. Inhale, belly expands, breathing into the diaphragm. Exhale, belly falls back in. One more nice deep inhale, fill the belly with air. Exhale all the air out. Come back to your comfortable breath, release your hands. Take one more moment here. Bring yourself into the present moment. Let whatever happened earlier in the day go. Whatever you need to do later in the day, let it go now. Be here on your mat. And you could start to blink your eyes open. Go ahead and go onto all fours, so on your hands and knees. Knees under hips, hands under shoulders, slight little bend in your elbows. Spine is nice and straight. And feel your core start to kick on. So drawing the navel up and in toward your spine. Keep the breath steady. A lot of our balance comes from our core strength. We need the core strength to be able to balance. All right, so we're going to work a little bit here, balancing on all fours. So balance isn't only about balancing on your feet. So to start, keep a slight little bend in your right elbow. Reach the left arm out in front like you were going into bird dog. Hold here and breathe. Keep the torso facing down. Feel the core start to activate. Left arm comes down, right arm reaches out. Keep a slight bend in that left elbow. Core is kicking on, firing up through those central muscles. Right arm down. Start to drag the left leg back, lift it up, toes point down. Again, keep the pelvis stable. So both points of the pelvis are facing down. Squaring down toward the ground. Breath is steady. Left leg comes down, right leg back, toes pointing down. Just starting to warm up through these muscles. Right leg down, and now we can move into bird dog. So the left arm will reach out, right leg back. So opposite arm, opposite leg. Hold here and breathe. Extend from the fingertips down through the back heel. The spine is straight. The core is really, really active. 2 more breaths. Lower leg and arm down. And switch sides. Right arm reaches, left leg reaches. Extending from the fingertips down through the heel. Breathe. Navel's pulling up and in, low back muscles are working. 2 more breaths. Drop the hand and the leg down. Sit back into kneeling just to take a little pressure off the wrists, maybe rolling the wrists out. Okay. One more variation in bird dog to challenge that core stability, because that's going to really help us in the rest of our balancing postures. So come back to all fours. Okay. Core is going to draw in again. Breath is steady, spine is flat. So we're going to kind of go out to the side. So the right arm is going to come out like you're going into cactus, and the left leg is going to come out to the side with the knee bent. Okay, so right arm lifts, left leg reaches out. Keep the spine straight. Drop it down, switch sides. So left arm in cactus, right knee comes out to the side, right knee's bent. Drop it down. Switch sides, right arm, left leg. Drop it down. Switch. Drop it down, one more each side. Switch, right arm, left leg. Drop it down, left arm, right leg. Core is really active. Bring it down, so both hands on the ground, both knees on the ground. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, send it back to down dog. Breathe in downward dog. Feel the weight even between the hands and the feet. Knees could be bent here. Heels sinking down toward the ground. And then bring the left foot to the center line. Right foot steps forward between your hands. Drop your back knee down, untuck back toes, lift up to low lunge. Breathe. Hands come to prayer. Tuck under back toes, power through, see if you can lift the back knee up so you're in high lunge. Arms reach up, feel that stretch through the hip flexor. Settle in here, 2 breaths. Hands come to prayer. We're going to power up to the front of the mat, bringing the left knee up and into the chest, okay? We're going to hold on to the shin, all right? So power through. Come up to standing. Left leg hugs in. Hug it in so you hold the shin. Hug that knee up and in toward your chest. Standing up nice and tall. Grounding through the right foot. Slight bend in the right knee. And then see if you could keep the leg here, all right? So use those core muscles. Keep the left knee where it is. Reach the arms up. 2 breaths. Hands to prayer. Step it back to lunge. Hands come down to border right foot. Step back, down dog. Breathe. Right foot to center line, left leg steps forward, drop back knee down, untuck back toes, lift up low lunge, Anjani Asana. 2 breaths here. Feeling the core starting to activate, so even though this one's a little easier, the core is still firing. Hands come to prayer, tuck under back toes, lift your back knee so you're in your high lunge. Arms reach up. 2 breaths in high lunge. Hands come back to prayer. We're going to power through, bringing the right knee in toward the chest, holding onto the shin. So use your strength, power up to standing, holding the right knee, hugging it up and in. Slight bend in the left knee, standing up nice and tall. Starting to just ground down through that foot, challenging the balance through our ankle. Keep the right knee where it is and see if you can reach the arms up, core stays in. You could always keep holding the leg as well. That would be your modification. 2 breaths. Hands to prayer. Take a big step back so you're back into lunge. Hands come down to border the left foot. And then step it back to down dog. You could vinyasa if you want to. As well, your choice. Everyone meeting in downward dog. 2 breaths here. Left leg comes to the center line, right leg reaches up. You could open the hip, keep the shoulders square, maybe bending the right knee, getting a little deeper opening. And then step the right foot forward between your hands. Lift up, high lunge. 2 breaths. Hands to prayer. We're going to power again too. So using the strength in our legs, we're coming up to warrior three. Hands will be in prayer. So power through, lift the back leg, come up to your warrior three. Again, slight bend in the standing knee. Breathe. Keep the shoulders squeezing back. Back toes pointing down. And then opening to half moon, the right hand comes down, left arm up, opening to the side. You could always use a block too under your right hand. That's a good modification. Breathe. Toes are now going to point toward the side of your mat. An option, this is just an option. If half moon's enough, stay here. And if you don't feel open enough yet, stay here. If you want to bend the back knee, grab onto the ankle with the left hand and get a little quad stretch here, you can. Breathe. These are all options. This is your practice. Take what's right for you. If you have the grab, straighten out the knee, coming back through half moon. Everyone place both hands down, step back to runner's lunge, and then make your way back to down dog, taking a vinyasa if you want, moving through chaturanga and up dog, or through low cobra, your choice. Vinyasas are optional. Everyone breathe in downward dog. Right leg comes to the center line. Left leg reaches up, opening through the hip, but keeping the shoulders nice and square. And then option to bend the left knee, getting that deeper hip opening. And then step the left foot forward, coming up to crescent. Breathe here, 2 breaths. Hands come into prayer. Power up and through, coming to warrior three, Virabhadasana 3, hands in prayer. Use the strength in your legs. Come up, lift the back leg. Right toes square down, left knee slightly bent. Shoulders squeeze back. Breathe. Half moon, left arm comes down to the floor or to a block. Right arm up, opening to the right. Toes are now going to point toward the side of your mat. And again, option to bend the back knee and catch it with your hand if you want that extra quad stretch or that extra challenge, but it's also not necessary. One more breath. If you have the foot straighten back to half moon, everyone, both hands come down as you step back through runner's lunge. Either step back to down dog or option to move through a vinyasa if that's what your body needs. Everyone meeting in downward dog. From downward dog, start to walk your feet up toward your hands, coming up to the top of your mat. And then rolling yourself up. 1 vertebrae at a time, coming up to standing. Okay, one more balance challenge on our feet. Then we're going to do one more core balance challenge, and then we'll stretch. So we're almost there. So you're going to ground into your right foot, slight bend in the right knee. The left leg is going to come up and in like we did before. So holding the left leg or holding the left shin as you lift up. So the first option is to keep the left shin in the right hand, open the left arm back, looking back toward the left hand. So it's like this revolved variation, okay, where you're getting a little twist. You could stay here, or if you have the mobility in your hamstrings, if your hamstrings are really tight, this might be a better option for you here. If you want, you're going to hold the outside edge of the left foot with your right hand, start to straighten the left knee out, and it doesn't have to get totally straight either, okay? So you can still have a little bend in it and do this. So do what feels good. This is a shorter practice. So like right now, my hamstring, straightening it all the way, it does feel a little tight, so maybe I'll just keep a little bend in it. Always listening to your body.
Keep the spine up nice and tall.
One more breath. Okay. If you have the knee straight, draw it back in. Everyone come back through center, hug the knee in, and then place it down, and maybe just shaking the legs out a little bit, preparing for the other side. All right, ground through left foot, right leg hugs up and in. So first, finding your stability here, slight bend in the standing knee. We're all gonna take the first option first anyway. So you hold the right shin with the left hand, right arm reaches up and back, and then you gaze toward the backhand. Stand up nice and tall, the core is active. And then option to hold the outside of the right foot with the left hand and start to straighten the right knee. Again, it doesn't have to get straight. You could get like a little bit of straightening, keep it bent. Maybe that's where you go. Maybe you have it a little straighter. Listen to your body.
Keep the spine up nice and tall.
2 more breaths here. If the knee is straightened, bend it. Everyone come back through center, hug the knee in, send it down, and you're back in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Reach the arms up, fold forward into a forward fold, breathe. Come up through flat back, breathe. And then either step back to down dog, or you can vinyasa through, going through chaturanga and up dog or low cobra. Everyone meeting in down dog. Breathe here, reconnecting with the breath. Drop down to the knees, cross the feet behind you, come back to sitting. One more little balance challenge here in boat pose. So balance, like I said in the beginning of practice, isn't always only on our feet. We can balance in other ways. So in boat pose, we're balancing on our sit bones, but it's still a challenge to our balance. So options here, you could take traditional boat pose, or if you have pretty open hamstrings, I'll give you another kind of challenge that you could take here. All right, so everyone first go into boat pose. So hands out in front, hinge back, spine is nice and straight, core is kicking on. This could be where you want to stay today, or you lift the feet up, okay? Breathe. So maybe you hold here in boat. If you have open hamstrings and want the extra challenge, 2 peace fingers are going to go around your big toes, okay? The thumb is on the toenail. You're going to start to straighten the legs up for a little hamstring opener and a little balance challenge here. Okay, so you're still keeping the spine nice and straight. The shoulders are squeezing back. Breathe. Maybe you open the legs a little bit, finding that challenge here. Draw them back together or just hold boat. Everyone come back to regular boat for a moment. One more breath. And then come back through all fours and either step back to down dog or last option for a vinyasa. If you're doing a vinyasa, maybe holding your up dog for an extra breath or 2. That feels good for me right now. And everyone meeting back in their downward dog. Breathe. Left foot comes to the center line, right foot steps forward, drop the back knee down, and then press yourself back so you're in that position to prepare for half splits. So this is actually also challenging for your balance as I'm wiggling around here. All right, so even just staying here, that's a lot of challenge for those hip muscles. If you have tight hamstrings, work on getting the spine nice and tall. The knee will be bent probably, and then you're just working toward getting it straight, but while you keep the spine straight. If you have open hamstrings and you want more of a stretch, you can start to fold forward over the right leg in your half split pose, Ardha Hanumanasana. Breathe. If you're forward, thinking about pulling that right hip back in space, that'll deepen that hamstring opening. Connect with the breath. allowing the breath to come to a nice steady pace, moving in and out of the nose. Two more breaths. Bend through the right knee, coming through low lunge for a moment. And then tuck under the back toes, lift the back knee, step it back to your downward dog. And right away, switching sides. Right leg to the center line, left leg steps forward, drop the back knee down, come up like you're preparing for half split pose. So everyone take a moment here, feel that challenge of your balance here. Feel that challenge through the hips. Okay. If you have tight hamstrings, same thing as the other side, working to get the knee straight while you keep the spine straight. If you want to take that forward fold, starting to fold over the leg, which does make it a little easier on the balance, but could make it more intense for the hamstrings. So choose what you want to work with. Maybe even though you have open hamstrings, maybe you want to stay with that balance challenge up high today. Breathe. And remembering that even in these more physically demanding yoga practices, we're still working on that mind, body, soul, building that resilience, allowing ourselves to be in the present moment. Sometimes even these physical postures are really helpful for the mind because it can help the mind actually quiet down. 3 more breaths. Coming through low lunge. Tuck under back toes, lift the back knee, last downward dog. Just 1 breath here. Knees drop down, cross feet behind you, come back to sitting, and we're gonna do double pigeon. So I feel like I haven't done double pigeon in a class in a while. So let's do it today. If you really hate double pigeon, of course you could always take single leg pigeon as well. But if it feels okay on your body, let's try double pigeon today. So for double pigeon, first tuck the right leg in, okay, like you're gonna sit in easy pose. So the left foot's gonna cross on top of the right thigh. Okay, and you see, you can adjust. So like right now I wanna bring my right foot a little further out, and it's opening here. So I still have this space here, so I'm a little tighter in double pigeon than I am in single pigeon. You could always take a block and use it for extra support by placing it between your foot and the knee. If you're really tight here, you can also put the left leg in front of the right and work here as well. Like that's a great option. So do what works for you. There's no right or wrong. It's what feels good for you and your body. Okay, so breathe here. So first, everyone sitting up nice and tall, trying to relax through that left hip. Breathe. And then if you want to take a fold, you can start to fold forward, but try to find length in the spine as you fold. Breathing into that left outer hip space. Couple more breaths. Slowing down. If you're forward, walk it back up. Switch sides. So the left leg's on the ground, the right leg, so the right foot's gonna cross on top of the left thigh. Okay, adjust your bottom foot as you need, and you can see this is a little tighter on this side for me. I could use a block to support myself here. I could put my leg in front and do double pigeon this way. You could take single pigeon. You could sit in easy pose as well, all right? So choose your variation, sitting up nice and tall, breathing into the right outer hip space. And then option to fold forward, finding length in the spine as you fold if you're taking that forward fold. For me on this side, just this tiny little pitch forward is enough for me in my right hip, so honor your body. Be grateful for where you're at today. Be okay with being different from day to day. Couple nice long deep breaths here. If you're forward, walk yourself up, uncross the right leg, and let's just take a child's pose to neutralize our spine. So come on to all fours. Feet together, knees wide, sit back into the hips, arms reach out in front, forehead comes down, and breathe. 5 breaths here. Start to walk it up, and then choose either just walking up, coming to kneeling and taking our final pose in kneeling, or go ahead and sit in easy pose, your choice. Either way, spine is nice and straight, hands relax on your thighs, palms facing up, close your eyes, and just reconnect with your breath. Finding this moment of stillness, feeling any effects or shifts that happened in your body through our practice. That could be your physical body, it could be how you feel emotionally, it could be how your mind feels. There are so many layers to us. So just being present with all of it right now. Staying connected with breath. And then bring the hands into prayer at the heart, offering gratitude to yourself for showing up for practice. If you're in kneeling and you want to shift back to easy pose, you can. Take the pressure off the feet. And we'll close here with 1 breath together. Nice deep inhale. Exhale it out. Return to your comfortable breath. Relax your hands down and slowly blink your eyes back open to the world around you. Thank you so much for practicing here with me today. Namaste. Thank you guys for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed that class. I hope you enjoyed the challenge. If you liked this class, please give it a thumbs up. Maybe comment down below what your favorite pose was. That really does help my channel. Also, if you'd like to go deeper into your yoga practice, get longer flows, maybe check out my Patreon. That'll be linked down below as well. But otherwise, that's all from me for today. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. And otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.